Katie, we're thrilled to have you here.
Thank you, Dean Boulding, for that very generous introduction, and I'm honored to be here with all of you today. Thank you, esteemed members of the faculty and staff, proud parents, supportive friends, and families for coming from near and far to celebrate this fine class of graduates today. And thank you also for the insightful student speakers, Kirtana and Anshul. Thank you so much to both of you. I have to say, and pause for a minute, that you all look great, especially all the grads in your gowns. And each of you now has 2 of these. They're so formal and freeing at the same time. But you've worn one in your undergraduate graduation, and now again, as you prepare to commence. And actually wearing these caps and gowns is a 900-year-old tradition. Today, you wear yours with the Duke colors of blue and white. As a symbol of your achievement, you've completed your degree, and now you're ready to start your next chapter. You all came here at the same time, but for very different reasons. Some of you came to the MMS and MQM programs to learn whole new skill sets. Others to be taught by some of the finest professors and researchers in the world. And some of you just came to see great basketball. Parents, I'm sorry, it's true. Originally opened in 1940, Duke renamed this beautiful stadium for Eddie Cameron, who worked in tireless pursuit of excellence for Duke for 47 years. He was a revered coach and administrator. So what are you going to be known for after 47 years? What will be your legacy? What will you be? All of our lives, we strive for scores and grades and experiences that all add up to a great life of doing. And you all have an A+ in doing right now. And that's admirable and measurable and important. But I'm a Duke undergrad psych major. Sorry, Mom and Dad, still not pre-med. But I propose that who you're going to be is far more important than what you are going to do. I have no doubt in looking at the composite backgrounds and grades of your class that you will be successful. But will you be a leader of consequence? This is the big difference between being a human doing and a human being. How do you want to be known? Are you going to make the plan? Or are you going to be the leader that people could not wait to see walk through the door, who treated all colleagues well, and everyone else wanted to be like? That is about personal brand values. What are the things you're good at, and what will you try to be every day? Dean Boulding and I exchanged emails, and he encouraged me to share some thoughts on what I thought it took to be a leader of consequence. What is the secret formula? And I found 4 B's, or ways of being, that help create leaders of consequence. I left Duke University and the Fuqua School 30 years ago. And when I went to school, things were different. We wore watches to tell time. Phones were on the wall at Duke, and you pressed buttons. We did research all in the library. There was no such thing as the World Wide Web. And we wrote papers in the Fuqua basement word processing room. And Dean Boulding, Professor Boulding, had brown hair. Since then, the Coca-Cola Company took me on an amazing ride, with years living in other cities and countries, and all kinds of challenges and wonderful learning, and wishing I knew that secret formula of Coca-Cola. But the most important learning that I did was about me and what I wanted to be. My first job after Fuqua was a brand assistant on Diet Coke. You can imagine, blue skirt suit, fuchsia man tie, and an annual planning job analyzing daily drinker trends. Almost puts me to sleep now. I had a great weekend. I walked into my boss's office on a Monday afternoon with the charts and handed them over, and she looked at me and she said, "Is this it?" And I said, "Yes, here it is. It's the daily drinker changes over the last 3 years and significant changes over the last 12 months, just like you asked for." And she was quiet and sat back and said, "Katie, I know you have the ability, but I wonder if you have the ambition to be a leader here." And she inspired me to change gears, literally. But it was not all smooth driving after that. I did hit some pretty big road bumps, and I'd like to share just a couple. I was working at Coca-Cola South Pacific in Australia when my new points of interaction merchandising program for 170,000 retail outlets got stranded out at sea in a shipping strike floating on the Pacific Ocean, with all of our bottlers, our installers, and our customers waiting, and I had a knot in the pit of my stomach. I called my dad, who was a sitting CEO at the time, he's right over there, and he listened, and he said, "Kate, how long have you worked for Coca-Cola?" And I said, 5 years. And he said, "Kate, if you don't feel this way once every 5 years, you're not doing what they need you to do, and you're not being you." And sure enough, about 5 years later, back in the US, when we made the white Arctic Home Coca-Cola cans, yep, that was me. And 5 years after that, in the 2014 Super Bowl, we ran America is Beautiful, which America is Beautiful has 9 languages and 9 dual language American citizens who sing the song to make the point America is beautiful and Coke is for everyone. It was viewed by most as a modern update to Hilltop or Mean Joe, but not by all. Each of these bumps were indeed speed bumps. The bumps got bigger, but so did the reward, both personally and professionally. We had the largest selling season in company history during Arctic Home when we made the red cans white, while raising environmental awareness of key customers. And It's Beautiful increased purchase intent amongst 20 to 29-year-olds by over 30%. That work has run again in 2 Super Bowls and 3 Olympics since then. So as much as I hated that sick feeling in the bottom of my stomach, I learned that it meant that we were pushing it and learning, and yes, screwing up a little bit along the way, but daring to make a difference and making it better. So I ask you, did anyone tell Zion to do a 360 dunk in the Clemson game right here? No, no one did. And so the first B I have for you is like Zion. I learned to be a leader of consequence. It starts with the letter D. It is be daring. The next B is something that you will be very familiar with from Team Fuqua. My best learning about this was when I was president of North America. One morning, we had all of the brand teams presenting, 30-minute, super efficient meetings. And while we were grabbing sandwich, Andrew, a colleague, asked for a word. I said, sure, and remarked how great it was that we got through so much. And he said, yeah, we got through a lot. But there's a saying where I come from, where I'm in Alabama, nice hat, nice belt, nice shoes. And I've never forgotten that. In my hurry to get through all our decisions, I had not demonstrated any understanding of my team. I was trying to solve everything myself. The simple fact is, you're not going to make it. None of you. On your own. There will be times when you think you have all the information you need, and you don't. Or you plan for things to happen, and they won't. Those times you need to deeply understand the value of having teammates of diverse experiences, approaches, and thinking for better collaborative solutions. This is the most important thing you can take away from Team Fuqua. So the second B I learned that it takes to be a leader of consequence starts with a U, and it is understanding. Be understanding. This next B comes from something we are taught as children. One of my mentors said to me early in my career, you're going to have a lot of decisions to make, but whatever you decide to do, you should be proud to have it printed in the New York Times. Well, no one reads the printed New York Times anymore. But I've updated that and translated it into key points that I think about whenever I make a business or decision in my personal life. 1, would it be something I would be proud to tell my husband or mother or father about? And second, would it be something I want my 2 children to copy and learn from? They're 16 and 20, so it's a pretty high bar. When I left Coca-Cola after 28 years, we had a fun party, and I was lucky enough to have colleagues from different parts of my career ask to say something. Not one person spoke about beating the plan, or surprising competition, or getting that extra bonus pay that year. The speeches were about small moments that were personal, moments where I had been simply kind. One was for calling out a very important customer publicly for mistreating a female colleague at an NCAA hospitality event. Another was protecting a creative agency partner and standing up for his right to be heard at a pitch meeting long ago. And another was just handing Kleenex under the stall in the ladies' room to a teary friend that needed it. It was about the moments, big and small, when I remembered what I learned as a child, which was to be respectful and be kind. Nothing teaches you more than personal struggle, yours and your teammates. Kindness is not a weakness, it is what lasts, and it is what you will be remembered for. So B number 3, in terms of being a leader of consequence, starts with the letter K, and it is be kind. And finally, my 4th B, and I anchor this story in a mistake that Dean Boulding made in my introduction. Yes, occasionally, even Dean Boulding makes mistakes. He forgot to mention that I was on the basketball team while I was an undergraduate and graduate student here at Duke. Yep, we had 3 Final Four appearances during that time, and my teammates like Jay Billis, Johnny Dawkins, Christian Leitner, Quinn Snyder, and Danny Ferry. Yes, I was the 6th man during all of that time. I didn't miss a game in this arena. Why? Because Coach K made it clear that the 6th man was as important as anyone else on the floor. You didn't miss a game and you never sat down. The entire time, that's right, parents, this whole level is students who never sit down the entire time the Duke team's on the floor, the other 5 players, because we are accountable for the energy in this arena. This B is for your benefit and the benefit of your teams, but even more importantly, the benefit of your friends and your families. Think about it. If you come to work each day and your leader walks in stressed and tired, how do you react? Or if you come home every night exhausted, does anyone want to be with you? The research is clear. The #1 differentiator for high-performance athletes, teams, and businesses, and the most difficult thing to maintain, is energy. With the advances and conveniences of technology, there are no longer any natural beginnings and ends to our workdays. And so we sacrifice the 3 things you need that give the human body and mind energy. 1, nutrition. We eat unbalanced meals on the go. Exercise, we don't have time for workouts. And rest, we work around the clock. But without proper energy maintenance, and only you can take care of this, no one can take care of it for you, all productivity and relationships will suffer. Personally, I'm doing okay on nutrition and exercise, but I need to work on my rest and sleep. I would say this B is the most important for all of you, to become the leader of consequence that you are all destined to be. So the final B starts with the letter E, and it is be energizing. So in closing, it's been a privilege to be with all of you today. In just a little while, you'll walk across this stage, and you will join roughly 250,000 Duke alumni globally. And I, and all of the other alumni, promise the doing will happen as long as you keep the being in front of you. So be a human being, not a human doing. Make us proud wearing the blue and white. And now I have shared my secret formula for being a leader of consequence from DUKE. D, be daring. U, be understanding. K, be kind. And E, be energizing. Here's to the MMS and MQM classes of 2019. Congratulations to you all.